Alright, here it is, the final product. I have everything on display here. This has taken me several days to set up, and I'll try to cover everything as best I can, as quickly as I can. Everything you see here was included, minus this rookie guy. He came extra with something that I had bought from some eBay seller. It was really nice, they included that extra. This Terror Dog sticker was the same story. So now, for the first time ever, I finally have something to set up. And the last thing that was not included in this was the ghost trap here, which happens to be the same exact size. So I think this is probably the same exact series that was shot, the same exact Hasbro figure series. Not 100%, but the figure and the trap is not included in this. Everything else is exactly what's included. As you can see over here, we have Tully. He is cowardly shooting the library ghost in the back. The detail on the library ghost is fantastic. Details on everything is fantastic. She comes with books. You can see here she's got a atlas. The book that she's holding in her hand also has print, if I can get it to focus. There's print on the book. It's detailed enough. You can see it's got a little diagram she's reading about before she gets blasted. We'll come back over here. Winston is giving the library ghost a good attitude adjustment with the mood slime shower. That's very nice. Over here we have the cart. I'm going to go ahead and readjust real quick. We have the proton pack gurney. And give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and adjust a few things. I'll be right back. One detail I forgot to mention was that the gurney does actually have foldable wheels, and the wheels do roll, and they do roll really nicely. So, of course, they do have foldable wheels. Somebody said that the proton packs do not fit on there. The hoses are pretty big, but they do actually fit in there. It's not very pretty. You got to put it in just right. But they do come out nicely. So once you do get them in there, they come out nicely. So wheels roll on the gurney. There's a lot of detail there. It does fold. The wheels do fold. Okay. All right, we're back. So as you can tell, the details on the figures are excellent. Absolutely excellent. The walkie-talkie on them, you can see the MT500. You can't see it here, but everything's modeled and molded. Some's painted, some's not. For the most part, I mean, there's great detail. You can see from the packs. We're all familiar with those by now. Even though it doesn't show up, they do have these mounted at an angle. So they did actually mount it at the wand is mounted at the correct angle. But sadly, when you put it on there, I think due to the rubber, it just doesn't show up. So the detail on the cars is really excellent for what it is. And as I mentioned before, if you did some painting, these things would look great. But as it sits, there's a few things that, like I had mentioned before, that I don't like. And I'm going to get into that in a second. But right now, I'm just going on the overview. Coming around on the Ecto 1A, as you can see, it's very busy, very pretty. I'm trying to adjust the camera in real time. It likes to become overly bright and go out of focus. All right, coming over here, we have Venkman arguing with Egon about merchandising rights. As you can tell, he's wanting he wants Egon to be upselling every customer with the balloons and the mug for the kids. We got our mood slime toaster sitting on the hood, and one of the most beautiful Slimer. Although I haven't really collected a lot of figurines, I've already heard from a lot of people that this is one of the most detailed, trying to get the lighting right, one of the most detailed Slimers that has ever been made. Really nice, really nice. Coming over here, we have the The engine compartment looks pretty good for what it is. I like that. We're going to talk about the decals in a second, but basically that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. To give you a full picture, to start, there's a button on the right. If you just tap the button, excuse me, that's not how it works. So you actually have to hold down the Ecto button. See, if you hear it. So if you let go of the Ecto button during the ignition sequence, it's like you have to actually hold the key down to start it. So you actually have to like really hold it down to start the car.
No. You're not cheating me, right? No, I swear they're just coming to me.
There we go. Engine started on Ecto 1. And then we'll start the engine on Ecto 2.
You only have 75 more to go. Okay? What's this?
All right, and then let's get some lights going. I'm also going to do a night lighting on this. So there's the headlights.
Isn't your lucky day?
Oh no! There they go. All right, give me a second. I'll be back. All right, they're back to being set up. So now the nice thing is you can start getting interior lighting. You have all sorts of different levels of lighting. That turns on the dome light in there. I'll get a better view of that. But then here's the lights. And I'm going to take some stills because this camera does not do the lights justice. It comes out very washed out. But here is the real magic. Let me start it up.
I need a little more time with this subject. Can you come back in an hour and a half? Peter, at 1:40.
So now that's the dome light.
The New York Public Library on 5th Avenue.
And the interior light.
Free-floating full torso papers apparition.
Oh boy.
Off shelves from 20 feet away and
Keep knocking them over.
Librarian.
And then finally, here is where it really gets good.
Get right down there. Check it out.
That looks great.
Get right back on here.
Then we'll turn the siren on both. And everything does different stuff. Look, you've got the siren down here. So I'll do another preview of this at night, but it looks really good.
8 o'clock? You were a legitimate phenomenon. As a friend, I have to tell you, you're finally going on the bend on this ghost business. You guys have been running your ass off, meeting and greeting every schizo in
All right. One more second.
What have you seen?
All right, so I had a lot of issues with this, I'm not going to lie. Also, look at when you put on the different top for the Ecto, it actually changes the LED colors. So, because remember, the body of the car is still exactly the same. So there's like some kind of programming in the top that actually changes the colors. You can also see the green here, but that's part of the top. But it's just cool. I noticed that it'll actually change the colors there.
Are you, Alice, menstruating right now?
They just look really good.
What has that got to do with it?
The camera really doesn't do it justice. So I'm going to get into a couple of things real quick. The decals were pretty bad. They really were. They don't adhere to rounded surfaces. As you can see here, I'm going to show you on top of the sniffer right here. This decal, you can see the decals just, you got to get it to focus. But basically, see if I can show it. You see how they keep just, if it's a rounded surface, these decals do not stick to them at all. So that is a problem. I'm guessing somebody hopefully is going to be making a decal kit, but look at these stickers are already coming off. Pretty crappy about that. I understand the thinking that's because they wanted to be able to make these decals swappable, but it still caused problems. And stuff like this, like the decals here, they could have made a different decal sheet because this is the top anyway. So you don't need to swap stickers because the top is going to be permanent anyway. So they could have just made a different decal for that. I ended up cutting for this. I ended up cutting around the the little plug right here, and it actually turned out perfectly. I think most people are going to put this clear over the plug, and that's just going to cause the stickers to peel. So I knew that ahead of time, and I went ahead and fixed that. I had to do a lot of trimming of these stickers too, which is why you'll see this. I mean, I'm fortunate because I actually have a couple of these really expensive to me. Well, they're not super expensive, but they're like $15, $20, I think. For these little guys, they're pretty expensive, I would think. But, I mean, you know, all is relative. Anyway, moving on. So I had to manually trim decals. And that was just a chore. I can't tell you how ridiculous the decals have been. And then they keep coming off too. I mean, it's not super bad right now, but I'd be surprised. I mean, like you can see on this Kala sticker, the sticker underneath there is it's already kind of coming off. So they just don't like rounded edges. The lines here, I mean, all of these stickers are individual stickers. So you have to really eyeball it well and use reference pictures if you're going to try to do it, or if you're OCD like you and I am, especially me. You have to spend hours just getting the stickers to line up perfectly. I can't tell you. I must have spent so much time just unsticking, resticking, and then by the end of it, this also became an issue because there's this little junction here where this tube goes over it, and this was another overlap where I had to end up trimming the stickers, and I actually did it good enough. But see, here's another issue too, is that stuff like this just pops out because it really barely, it doesn't even like fit in there. It just kind of gets stuck in there and stays in that position. Again, these are kind of the consequences of going with this concept of having swappable decals and swappable Ecto 1 to an Ecto 1A. Stuff like this doesn't fit. These plugs, and it's like, I get the thinking behind it because they obviously can't have the plug be completely flush because you need to be able to pick it out with your finger. But at the same point, again, you do not have a flush surface there, which is, you know, not the biggest deal, but it is still an issue. I had an issue with this top part. I'm actually really ticked off about it. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say, but so when I was putting on the annoying decals, this top piece actually fell off, and it fell off onto the floor, which, as you can see, it's not much of a drop, but just that little drop broke this antenna, and then the male end of the antenna, if I can get it to focus, the male end of this antenna, focus please, the male end, you can see this little tab right there, broke off inside of the hole. And I was really ticked off because the other top that I have, because I ordered 2 deluxes, the other top that I have, it had some imperfections with the light bar and some certain imperfections. So this was the better top out of the 2, I felt. I mean, most people wouldn't notice it, but for me, there were some imperfections. Maybe I'll cut to a picture of it. But anyway, so what happened was I couldn't get this plug out, and I had to take a Dremel and actually drill it out, which is why it looks so mangled. So I'm pretty upset about that too. Obviously, when you put the antenna in, you really don't notice it too much. I notice it, but you know, I don't think anybody in the world, the average person, is going to notice it. But that was an issue. Just another look at the interior, and the interior lights are really well detailed, and this is also where it shines. So let me see if I can, that's the wrong button. So we're going to turn on the light. There's the radio light, dome light, and that makes the interior go. This is where it just shines, and I don't think any model of the Ecto is as good as... when it comes to lighting, I think this is the best Ecto in the world, quite literally. So if you were a hardcore collector, even if you had the $1,400 Ecto, metal Ecto, I think you would still have to buy this Hasbro, because the lighting on this Hasbro, there's nothing like it. I mean, look at the interior, look at the inside. Let's see if I can get it. Look at that. And there's a lot of details that the seat folds. It folds down. There's a lot of little painting, little detailed painting here and there. I mentioned before in the other video, the computers actually have like a yellowing, like a natural yellowing, like the old computers, how they used to do that. The phone back there, you can actually pick the phone up off the hook, and you can have like the Ghostbusters talking. Those are like real little plasticky rubber cables, so they're actually real cables, and they're flexible. They're not just plastic molded in to look like a cable. So there's some really good details in here. Going back to the radio hangs up on the... See, the only thing that I hate is Hasbro with its usual timing out. They did the same thing with the Ecto that everybody hated about the packs. They made the stupid timeout version if you use batteries. I don't know why Hasbro thinks batteries have no life at all, but this thing could easily run off 3 AA's. That's what it runs off of, is AA's. It can run off 3 AA's easily. Hasbro gives it like a 15-second timer, and then you got to sit there and press the buttons and get them all to light up again. Now that does change if you plug it into the USB cable. I haven't tried doing that yet. I do need to test that out. They don't include the USB cable either, which, I mean, for $400, you think they could give us a USB cable. So you have to purchase that too. But, I'm saying a lot of negatives, but I'm really just saying the first things that come to mind. I'm happy overall with the purchase. I am going to have to, as I mentioned in the other video, I am going to have to exchange at least one. There's no way that I'm going to keep this this Ecto with the light is just kind of hanging in there, and you can see it's popped out because it won't go back there. It can't fit flush because they screwed it up. So, in fact, that's something that I need to work on. I'm hoping maybe I'll have time today to submit that stuff. But, and they've been a pain to, get a hold of people, because they close at like 5. They close at like 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is like 3 p.m. my time. And then they ask you all this information that you're supposed to supply. And so, anyway, this is another thing that some people have complained about. I guess the Ecto 1A does not have these hood vents, but the Ecto does. The original Ecto did. So, these are kind of just stickers, which is iffy, but I understand, again, if you're trying to switch between the two, you want those to be stickers. Also, a funny thing about the directions don't mention that there's actually the same vent decal needs to be placed over here. The Ecto one had a vent here, so luckily they give you plenty of stickers. Not enough stickers in the ones that they should have given you. That's my other gripe. Some stickers they give you plenty of that you'll never ever need to reuse, and then other stickers like the stripes, which were insanely hard to do, which I just being as careful as I could, I still ended up going through onto my second set. They only give you 2 sets of these striped stickers, and I cannot stress to you how easy it is to screw up those stickers. Or, like I said, I had to trim the stickers around the door because they were a little bit longer, and so there's just these minor imperfections. And then because I had to trim it, if I can close the store one-handed, it's kind of scary. Anyway, the caution tape does not totally line it because I had to trim it. The black and yellow sequence on the caution tape doesn't exactly work right here. It lines up perfectly on the other side. I wish I could get it to close. These doors are a little hard. There we go. So this is what I'm talking about. You can kind of see how the yellow is a little mismatched right there. I don't think anybody would notice that unless you pointed it out, but you can see that it's just a little mismatched. But there is just no choice because the stickers were too long, and so you had to cut them. And if you cut them, then you don't get the proper pattern. So it is what it is. There's these minor imperfections. Again, this is stuff that I'm hoping there'll be mods for this. I really hope there'll be mods because I will pick it up. I really do like these. I really do. This is the other thing I was talking about. This stuff just, I mean, it just sits in there. It's not in there at all. And I don't know why they did that, because they have a nice hole there that is like, it's shaped in like a stop sign shape. I can't get it to focus, of course not. But there we go. So they have a nice shaped hole. It would be easy to make this end fit in there, but it just, that's how it sits. Like, how crazy is that? And then I mentioned this too in the assembly. You know, a lot of these pieces are just, I mean, they just hang on by a thread. You can just pop them out. So it's very easy to lose pieces. It's very easy to have pieces fall off. And some of it's justified. Some of it I don't think is justified. Another little nitpick is I found out later, the instructions show that this antenna is supposed to have a curve to it. And then when I started looking at the reference pictures, I found out that it actually goes straight back. The real ones the antennas go straight back. So that was just a mistake on the instructions. I'm not sure, but that's how it's going to look. That's how most people are assembling it, because that's how the instructions say to do it. But, you know, this is another gripe. This, I don't understand how they can do this. They show that there's supposed to be a plug for this area because the Ecto 1 has that little antenna there. The Ecto 1A does not. And it shows in the directions there's a plug for that. And there's no plug. So I don't know if I want to use the second antenna for it and plug it in, or if I'm going to leave it just like that, be a little bit more accurate, but have a hole. I'm actually waiting to see what they do, if they come up with a fix for that. Because honestly, I think they're going to have to come out with a fix for some of this stuff. The decals are peeling off. They don't give nearly enough decals of the decals that they need to give. So there's a lot of great stuff. I don't regret this one bit. I would, knowing what I know now, I would repurchase these happily. I am so glad that I own these. I'm going to take some night stills and I'm going to show what it looks like in the nighttime, but this video is getting really long again, and I apologize. There's probably more that I want to talk to you about, but I can't remember right off the bat. So there is those things where things kind of fall off or whatever, but it's not terrible. It's not as bad as I make it sound, but it is kind of like, you know, these things are like $400 a piece. Like, you would expect all of that to be, you know, you would expect it to be a little bit more solid, but nonetheless, it looks good. I love the lighting combinations. Like I said, you can do any combination of lights you want. Like, if you want sirens on, interior lights off, you can do that. If you want interior lights on, sirens off, you can do that. You know, if you want just the backlight on, you can do that. Like, so they give you a lot of options with the lighting, just with one press of a button. So far, this is my overall review. If I think of anything else I want to mention, I will include it in the night demo. I'm going to do a little night demo at the end of this. So this got way too long, but I will talk to you later. Bye.
So I get a day in, day out around this place.
Alright, so as promised, this is the night mode. I've gone ahead and plugged in both USBs. So the USB is working. There's a little switch underneath that you can switch between battery power and USB power. And boy, it's so much better. That timeout that Hasbro did is just awful, as usual. It only lasts for a little bit, and it makes it feel so much better when the lights just stay on. Like, they go off so fast. So anyway, we'll just give a quick preview of what it looks like at night. So right now we just have the headlights on. Just to go over the controls, we'll go over to the Ecto 1. And I mean, the lights just look amazing. Just looks great. Absolutely looks great in there. I mean, you could actually make it look like a movie scene if you really wanted to. But, so we're going to just go ahead and see if I can cycle the lights off. Now the video is going to make it pretty blurry, but so your first press of the left button is the lights, and then the flashers come on, and they do different things for the Ecto 1 and the Ecto 1A. Second light does the radio And then if you press the button again, you get the dome light, which looks amazing in there. Let's see if I can give you an idea. I mean, they're super bright too, but they really do look realistic. And I mean, that just looks great. It really does look great. So, we'll go ahead and turn on the Ecto 1 for a second. Oh, and I'm losing guys again. I forgot about what posing figures is like, and it's awful. Alright. I still got Ghostbusters in the background. There's the sirens. So then when you put the sirens on, the interior dome light goes off, the radio light stays on. But if you press the left button again, then you can get the whole picture with the lights on there. So that's what it looks like. If you press the right button, which is also the car's ignition, you'll get a siren. So it's pretty nice. Let's go ahead and I'll turn the siren off on that. And boy, it's so much better with the USB mode. We'll go ahead and come to the Ecto 1A. I'll turn that on. Again, you have to hold down the start button, and if you don't, you won't give it enough times for the engine to crank over and turn on, which I really do like that. And this is where it really shines. So, same things we saw before, but this is where the lights get really interesting. Oh boy, it's just so bright. It looks really good. I can't explain to you, and let me get the interior lights on. I mean, it looks like a real car when you're looking at it, even in real life. It looks like a miniature car. So, the camera's not doing it justice. Let's see if I can focus in on the colors a little bit better. See, if I turn it real dark, kind of get a little bit, yeah, let me lock it. So you kind of get a better idea of the colors. It looks like that light bar, so now that I've been paying more attention to it, this light bar does all sorts of different patterns. That's kind of cool. So that's like a little Easter egg. That light bar totally does different patterns. Sometimes it goes left to right, right to left. This is a new pattern I just noticed. So, all in all, it just looks really good. I mean, that gives a good idea of what it looks like. And the figures look good too. And again, the camera just doesn't do the colors justice, but there you go. Looks great. Just another little demo shot. Looks great. Okay, I just wanted to wrap this up with a couple of night still photos. Sometimes the photos turn out a little bit better than the video. Some of them are still a little washed out. I could take a lot of time and actually make some really, really nice pictures if I wanted to, but as you know, this has been already a long, long project. So I just want to get some night stills to show some of the potential. Like this shot right here is really neat, I think. But yeah, this is what it looks like at night. Really shows up a lot better. Definitely a night display. I mean, they kind of light up your living room pretty well. Not too much, but they do give off a lot of light. So they could be a night light for somebody. Very expensive night light. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed. That gives you an idea of the entire process of getting these things assembled, unboxed, and kind of the pros and the cons and how I feel about them. So one more picture of the light there on the bumper. Anyway, just a few more stills now. We're looking at the daytime just to give you a few more stills. Get a really good idea of the detail. Like I said, I like them. I'm glad I purchased them. Thanks for watching, and thanks for stopping by.